University.tv.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back. we are in fact live. The microphone is turned on. We definitely didn't mess up the intro. It's all good. Welcome back to Ulti TV's coverage of Not University Mixed Nationals 2021 here in Birmingham in collaboration with Hive Ultimate. My name's Luke Burgess and I'm joined once again by Gigi Morrison. How are you doing this morning, Gigi?
It's a little bit chillier today, but thankfully so far no rain. We're going to have our final group stage / round robin game of II versus the Fish. I don't believe I've really seen either of these two teams play over the past few years, minus COVID. So this is going to be an interesting little warm-up to these teams, a little introduction to these teams. I'll be interested to see what they can bring.
Yeah, both teams have fairly small rosters, so hopefully their legs aren't feeling too sore after yesterday's matches. As Gigi said, conditions this morning are not ideal for commentary. It is a bit chilly, there is a bit of wind. We thought this was summer, but Noah, despite organising a fantastic tournament, failed miserably to organise the weather. The only sun we saw was after the end of the last game yesterday, as the first pull sails out of bounds. So Fish from Lancaster. Yeah, Fish from Lancaster, II from University of East Anglia. Oh, horizontal stack from II, going against the University Ultimate meta. Deep shot. Not quite in the end zone. That one is, though. Nice play from II. And they get themselves a break to start the game.
Yeah, it's quite refreshing to see a university team using a horizontal stack. As Luke mentioned, you do traditionally see a lot of teams, particularly with a lot of beginners, using vertical stack. We were having some controversial discussions about the best way to introduce Ultimate Frisbee offense to beginners. And I believe, at least behind the commentary desk, we're not big fans of vertical stack to introduce beginners. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, vertical stack, my opinion, restricts players and limits players and doesn't encourage development or understanding of the game. Okay, I got a film.
Yeah, putting all of your players in the middle of the field does not do anything to develop spatial awareness. As I come out with a zone. So Fish worked it nicely through the cup, but couldn't complete the next downfield pass. Playing lots of zone, however, does develop spatial awareness to some extent. Doesn't develop the sorts of communication with your teammates that we'd necessarily like to see, but so IA once again with horizontal stack offense. Fish choosing to play match defense. And it's successful for them as they get that block on the near sideline. I choosing to go to match after briefly trying to set up his own. Backhand over the top. Almost completed. Got 2 hands to it, but perhaps tripped a little bit early. The 2 players just running into each other there. It was a heroic defensive effort. And the block will stand, but hopefully the player's okay. Yeah, seems all right. Just a bit winded, perhaps. So Fish will get the disc 15 meters or so outside the end zone on this near sideline. Boldly opting for the vertical stack in the end zone. Hammer over the top. Layout not quite far enough. The wind is coming from the far side of the field towards the camera at this point. So that particular hammer will get pushed down pretty hard by the wind. Have to make sure you put some extra height on those throws in that direction. Well, Callahan, not quite, but it is a block in the end zone. Good defense from Fish to keep II from advancing the disc. Looks like they're kind of surrounding the stack a little bit. There's 1 player on this near side. And highly successful as, once again, the high release throw from Fish gets pushed down by the wind harmlessly. II with another attempt, and there's the run through D. Fish looking to convert quickly. No options downfield so far. Looking for a reset. Finds one. There's the shot to the end zone. But the cut was a bit early. And the defender knocks the disc to the ground. II, once again, trying to play out of their own corner. Upline shot. Fading infield. Well read by the defender. Having a fantastic game. So looking into the end zone, still count rising. Finds a reset. Goes for the swing, but the wind just picks it up. And II get another chance on offense. Bit of a deep shot. Defender's under it. And they do close it down. II looking a bit loose on defense after that play. But Fish also going slowly. Sticking to vertical stack. A few players surrounding the disc. And that was ridiculous. The reactions to realize that they could grab the disc again because the defender had touched it. Fish have no right to have the disc right now, but somehow they still maintain possession. There's the deep shot. Sailing into the end zone. Can it be run down? Not quite. And perhaps that's a symptom of first game on a Sunday morning. Didn't quite have the legs to reel that one in. It's a good throw. Floated nicely. And that first attempted forehand is dropped. Fish find themselves with a short field once again. Very tight vertical stack, not really being surrounded this time. Two players committing to this near side, and the disc sailing over the top. Layout attempted at the back, but the disc does fall harmlessly to the ground. Foul call, however. But the disc was a long way above the head of both of these players.
The player's just working out what the situation is. It looks to be like a contested foul, meaning that the disc is going to go back to the original thrower. And the stall count will be reset to where the original stall count was called from the foul. Nice around break with a bidding player.
Yep, good effort from the receiver, but I find themselves on offense again. Looking down the line. Finds the receiver, there's the deep shot. But falls short. There's like 5 blocks for that player so far at this point, it seems. So Fish, vertical stack again. Nice give and go up the line. Shot to the end zone. Bit too far for the receiver though. The wind's picked up just a little bit since the start at this point. Unable to convert, and a timeout called on the end zone line from Fish.
We're just getting a look back at some of the replays from this previous point. Quite a lot of action going on. A fair few turns from both sides. There's another one of those Ds. The Fish player getting their body completely in the way. They seem to have a lot of defensive awareness, a lot of defensive intelligence. Hopefully, at least in this timeout, some of the tactics can be a little bit ironed out, smoothed out a little bit. Some of the throws having been the correct option, but maybe a bit rushed. Just remember that if you are watching at home, either live or retrospectively on Hive Ultimate or LCTV, please do subscribe to either of the channels, if not both. Also follow us on Instagram. We also have Patreon if you can financially support us in any way. We're working hard behind the scenes to try and bring you as much amazing Ultimate coverage throughout this season and upcoming seasons. We've got a lot of projects lined up, and we would really appreciate your help.
So Fish have once again set up a vertical stack in the end zone, isolation at the front. Reset 45 degrees behind the disc on one side, on the break side it seems. Bit of a surrounding look, but did not come off. And Fish managed to convert the short field turn and get their first point of the game.
I'm gonna class that as a bookends for that player. I feel like that's a very well-deserved bookends, even though it might not be completely direct. Now evened up at 1-1. Eyes were struggling a fair bit in this wind, having to work from their furthest end zone in the horizontal stack against a really tough Fish defense. We're just finding out the name of the player who got those Ds just because we feel like they definitely deserve the credit for that point. Felix Shardlow running back up the hill.
It's Alex Newmar with all the Ds.
Congrats, Alex Newmar. We are already your biggest fan.
And not just the blocks, but the reaction grab off of the block that she then caught again. Just ridiculous. So Fish with the pull. Horizontal stack once again against the match defense from Fish. Finds a reset. Swing to the far side. It's high though, and sails out of bounds. So II setting up a zone. Lots of the Fish players quite far away from the disc. Spreading out downfield, but giving lots of space to the handlers at the back. But the zone is pushing Fish backwards. They've got the disc in the middle of the field, but they've lost a lot of ground. Shot through the middle. Just sails past the defender, but no receivers can get on the end of it. So horizontal stack from II, match defense from Fish. Immediate deep shot. Sailing over the top of the receiver. Wasn't to either side. Pretty tough read. As II content to stick with their zone set. So Fish trying to work it through the middle once again. Attacking from the behind the disc. Close defensive effort. Fish up the sideline now. Looking deep. Has some receivers, but the shot is too bladey. But II do have a full field to have to work down as the disc rolls into the end zone. So II stack pretty far away. Handler's calling for it to be closer. Nice quick dish into the middle. And a deep shot, but sailing IO out the sideline. All right, looking to trap the disc on this near sideline. So attacking from behind the disc again. Good strategy against the zone, particularly a zone with a cup like this. And a strip called. Uncontested. Disc is back, hammer over the top, finds the receiver. Almost the juggle catch. But II with half the field to work through. Finds the under open side. Several receivers coming to the same place. So handlers trying to work it amongst themselves. Reset, layout bid attempted, but does not find the disc. II maintain possession. Foul called. And that very physical play. II still with possession. Shot to the end zone. Has a receiver open. Just sails over the top, slightly too high. And that was a good attempt from II.
II setting up this zone again. It doesn't seem fully clear what kind of zone they're going for. It looks like a combination of both junk and FSU, but it's probably a bit more junk. Great bid from the deep there. Fantastic awareness from them. Unable to redeem that catch, unfortunately, though. So the main purpose of a junk style zone with one force on the thrower and a 3-person cup, 2 wings and a deep, is to try and slow down the flow of the offensive movement and really just to generate a block. Whereas FSU is a little bit more of an aggressive style of zone. You can generally get yourself in the way a little bit more with
So the II zone working out nicely for them again as they win the disc back. Handlers unable to work it amongst themselves. Very deep vertical stack from II in the end zone. So they shoot immediately to the corner. It's a good throw, but just a little bit too far in front of the intended target. II set up their zone once again. So fish handlers trying to work it amongst themselves once again. There's not a huge amount of wind at this point, but maybe just enough to affect these throwers. Shot over the top is incomplete. The zone does leave plenty of options over the top, but not easy to hit options. So attempted up line. So Fish once again trying to work through the II zone. As the zone traps them on this sideline. That's a nice bailout throw there. So II opting for the horizontal stack this far out of the end zone. Low release forehand does not get picked up by the wind. But they do get a chance to trap Fish on this near sideline with their zone once again. Options over the top. Opts for the reset. Into the cup. Pivots through. Nice attacking from behind the disc once again. Nice give and go. But the disc just going a little bit high. It's important when you're throwing these give and go moves to release the disc a bit lower than you normally would. As II shoot to the end zone immediately, it's floating. Defender gets there first though. It's a nice look from II. So, 15 minutes or so left of this game. Get your votes in the chat as to what you think the final score will be. Nice shot over the top, but just a little bit too far off the receiver. Faded at the last moment. So, II, horizontal stack. Once again, the disc is floating. And almost finds a receiver that was setting up a cut for the next option. So II forcing the disc to this near sideline once again. A nice break to find the swing. Looking for the over option. Attacking from behind the disc once again. Nice give and go move. Can they keep this disc moving? Yes, they can. That's really nice offense. Finds the deep option. But the deepest defender just about gets a hand there first. A clutch block. Looked like Fish were off to the races. Now II set up a deep cut. Looks like a defender just about got a hand to that, and it was enough to knock the disc to the ground. Bit of a discussion. It looks like the play will stand. Yeah, 2-1 to who? Who do you think scores next? So II, deep shot to the end zone. It's floating. And it is run down. II will be the first team to get the second point.
Got some lovely comments in the chat. We have one comment from Rabidus, which is it's not uni ultimate if there's not somebody with a Pikachu beanie. Should this be the next controversial opinion? Yeah, I think it's either Pikachu beanie or Harry Mason. Thankfully, we have both this weekend, so we've got like the best of both worlds.
I mean, once Harry Mason stops playing Uni Ultimate, it's like the end of an era.
He'll be back for media, surely. He loves Ultimate too much to not just live and breathe it as much as he possibly can. He's just so passionate about it, and I feel like he will just come back either with Ulti TV or for the Custom Lane floor. Also shout out to the Custom Lane floor, fantastic media setup.
So just over 10 minutes left of this game. Will the 2-1 prediction come through? As I get themselves an early turnover in this point. Setting up their end zone offense. Vertical stack. Bit of a sandwich at the back. Upline cut. Poached off the front. Gets the block and immediately shoots deep. 2 players underneath it. Defender has the read though. Goes up nice and early. Gets the block. But I cannot maintain possession. And neither can Fish, as that attempted layout grab does not work out. This is just a bit too low. Oh, what a grab on the far sideline. But there's some discussion about whether or not it was in. And it's been called out. So Fish setting up their vertical stack. Has a reset option, but doesn't even want to look at it. Instead shooting to the line, and the receiver is wide open. And Fish get their second point of the game.
The position that Fish had on the sideline there, just in front of the end zone. Whilst you do have a fantastic receiver in Ollie Tanner-Smith, generally speaking, I think the better option is to try to immediately look for your reset. Because when you're stuck on that sideline, the defense can set themselves up really effectively to make that up the line, that first end zone cut really difficult to throw to or really difficult to make. So having that wide open dump receiver was a much better option. But overwhelmingly from this game, I think the best thing to take away is that whilst we haven't necessarily seen 100% in terms of execution, the correct options have actually been taken and have been looked at. So we're seeing a lot of throws not necessarily coming off in the correct way, but the better thing to take away is that it is the correct option. So once the execution is there, it'll be 100%. It'll be great.
So Aye setting up the horizontal stack. Immediate deep shot, but goes straight to a defender. And Fish get the disc back. So they try and set up some kind of offensive structure. It's working amongst the handlers. Lots of communication on defense. They are managing to take away all of the options that Fish are attempting, but that throw Looked like an attempted swing to the far side, but released a bit too low and goes straight into the hands of a defender. Now picking up, shooting deep to the end zone. There is a receiver open. Just a bit too high, though. It's a nice look, and as you were saying, Gigi, the decision-making's good, but the execution, it's just letting both these teams down. So II with the same zone that's been so successful for them so far this game. Attacking from behind the disc once again. And the give go through the cup. Good attempt, but once again the disc just going a little bit too high on these give and go passes. High release backhand towards the end zone, almost in. But not quite. Some poaches on this near side. There's the around break, and what a throw. Gets past the mark. Finds the receiver in the end zone. And IA go up 3-2. So I hope everyone's enjoying this morning's coverage of Not University Mixed Nationals. This is the last group stage game of the day, and then we go into bracket play as we get closer to the pointy end of the tournament.
Our next game on this pitch in about 12 minutes is going to be Sheffield versus Nottingham. That's going to be some of the crossover games to get into the top 8 bracket. Sheffield having quite a difficult journey into the top 8 with a game against Nottingham.
So a huge defensive play in the end zone from II. Stops Fish from tying the score. But their opportunity to go 2 points up. We'll have to wait for another block as they choose to set up their zone once again. Different handler picking up the disc this time. See if Fish can have some more success. Nice little jukey cut to get the disc in the cup. Goes backwards. High release over the top. Give and go to the near side into the cup. Good movement from the handlers. Nice attack from the back of the disc. Immediately popping it back. It's good disc movement from Fish. So they swing into the middle and force IA to drop to match defense. Nice pop passes. Good, still keeping that good movement. Hammer to the end zone, has a receiver wide open. Nice throw. And Fish will tie the game 3 apiece.
Fish doing really well in conserving their disc. Not necessarily taking the safest option with that hammer in this wind, but still a very good option. We're all a big fan of hammers here in the commentary booth. II taking their time in setting up on the pitch. As we're going into the last 5 minutes of this game. So this tournament is running under gender ratio rule A, which means that the so runs A, B, B, A. So a majority gender goes under A, the other majority gender goes under B, and then you switch in between those. And we're also having the majority gender of the point pulling, which is a brand new rule introduced by Woof Duff, being trialled at World Games eventually, but it's also being used at this tournament.
So IA looking to get 4th point on the board, get ahead in this game. Nice lead pass over the top, well read by the receiver. There's the shot to the end zone and finds the receiver in space. II with a beautiful offensive sequence will get themselves up 4-3. Say hi to Felix, everyone. So II zone defense once again, trapping the disc on this near sideline. Wind is still blowing ever so slightly from the far side of the pitch to this near side. Opts for the reset and the swing. Nicely done, but one of the fish handlers just running into one of the IA players. And play resumes. Immediate give and go. Finds a reset. Good disc movement from Fish once again. Nice, quick give and go passes. Surveying the field now. Nice lead pass. It's floating, but the receiver just tripped ever so slightly trying to run that disc down. But the disc movement was really nice. There's the hooter. We will finish this possession, and that will be the end of the game. So I have a chance to go up by 2 points if they slot this in. Nice shot to the middle. There's good movement from II. Looked briefly to the end zone, but nice grab to keep the disc alive. Tried to call a timeout, but you can't call a timeout once the hoot's gone in this particular tournament, and the disc just sails a bit too high, and that will be the end of the game. And I take it 4-3.
Once the teams that have gotten warmed up into this game, definitely some beautiful disc movement. A lot better offense than we've seen from a lot of other teams that are seeded very similarly. So this is a refreshing thing to see. Good luck to both of the teams throughout the rest of the tournament. If you're wanting to stick around, we've got Sheffield versus Nottingham going into crossover games. We've got a lot more games coming up throughout today. Going to be quite some exciting coverage. And the finals later on today, whoever that will be.
Yep, so thank you all for watching. None of you got 4-3 right in the predictions. That's unfortunate. Better luck next time. See you again soon.
Alti.tv